I'm 1,000 miles away from home, just waiting for a train.
That's my mic. Sorry. Hello and welcome to the first episode of Luck, Marry, Kill. I am your DM, the magical girl of this channel, known as Witchy Mitchy, to everyone else around the table, MJ Lyrish. And tonight we are doing something very special. We have something wondrous and terrifying in store for you. And by we, I mostly mean me, because they have no idea what's coming for them.
No.
We tried.
And that behind me in the audio is the Killsquad. Killsquad, can I get a bloodthirsty sound off? Butamus. A couple of quick things. This stream is centered to go until 11:15, but we are going to try to get around to the end of everything in the hour leading up to 11:15. We know people on the East Coast have jobs and they need to get to bed at a certain time to be up to work their 9 to 5, as Dolly Parton, Queen of All, once said. Also, we have a Patreon if you'd like to support the channel. We have a number of things, like a YouTube that you can also go and subscribe to in case you miss an episode. It'll be on there right after it's available for me to download. So I think that is everything we have for tonight. So without any further ado, let's get started with tonight's episode of Luck, Marry, Kill. All right. Welcome, Killsquad.
Hi.
Hello.
What's up?
Howdy.
Hello.
And if anybody is out there watching, if you could let us know if our audio is good, we should be ready to go. This is a group of individuals. Would you like to introduce your characters now, or as we get started?
I say let's dive into the immersion. Let's just go for it.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Media res, let's go.
Without further ado, I would like all of you to roll me an initiative order.
Oh my.
Oh no.
Okay. First roll, everybody.
Natural 20 to start.
That one.
That will be a lovely roundabout 12.
So Patches with the nat 20, Cordelia with the nat 1.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we have in the middle? Who's higher than... We've got a 4, so we've
Mhm.
got Onyxia. Chime,
I've
what'd you
gotten 18.
get?
18.
I also got a nat 20.
Okay.
Word.
Who
We
has
had
the
some
hi-
hot dice already.
Who has the higher dex? Who has the higher dex? Patches
Mine's
or Chime?
3.
Oh, where is it? My dex is 16. Sorry.
Okay, so it's a +3.
It's high again.
hmm
Who wants to
Oh.
go first out of the two of you?
You want to rock, paper, scissors?
Okay.
A wonderful way to get things started.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Shoot. Oh my god.
We both scissored. Okay.
You can go first. You can go first.
Okay. So I believe that leaves our order at Patches, Chime, Velvet. I believe you said 19?
18, but yeah.
Yeah, 18. Okay. So, Patches, you've been in a situation like this more than once before. You open your eyes, and you don't even need to make a perception check for this. You know that there is a bag over your head. I will give you the opportunity, now that you are knowledgeably bound both physically and magically, with your hands behind your back in a seated position, to decide whether or not you want to respond to this situation at all, or if you want to keep your head down and listen for anything that might occur.
To act like I'm still unconscious, actually.
All right. Chime, you have never had a bag over your head. Of all of the times that you have been in Time's Point, no one's ever done anything about it. Never seemed to grab you or do anything like that. You have no idea where you are, how you got here. You see a grid-like pattern in front of you. It smells earthy. It smells a little moldy, honestly. And a little bit like potatoes. And you see
I
light
knew it.
coming in through a grid-like pattern.
Mhm.
How does Chime respond to that?
I knew it. I knew they'd get mad at me one day. I could only speak so much truth before everyone thinks I'm insane and tries to silence me. They just don't want the truth getting out. This is ridiculous. And so I'm going to start trying to struggle and get out of whatever bonds I'm in.
Oh, good. They are waking up. You may remove the bags if you wish. Boss, we spent a lot of time finding those It was not a request, imbecile. Remove them. And the first bag that comes off is Velvet's. Velvet, you've seen your fair share of mafiosos. You've seen your fair share come in and out of the speakeasy. This woman standing before you, clad in almost spotless white, almost just a shadow against electric light that shouldn't even be there, is a vision of what seems like an age-long past where elves and half-elves ruled the world. And by dint of that, half-elves ruled the mafia. And you can tell she was beautiful, just stunning in her youth. but age has started to set in. She's probably late 50s, early 60s. Now, I don't know if you'd recognize this mobster right off the bat as Madame Cervanti, but you've definitely heard the name before. Morvier, you've heard it every bit as much. And it's not a name that's particularly hostile towards where you work. It's not a name where your boss would be very upset at hearing. So you don't know why the hell you're here. Velvet, Morphier, how do you respond to this situation?
I think Morphe glances around the room, taking in his surroundings, kind of tries to catch eyes with Velvet, and just kind of give that here we go type of look. Um, uh, what type
You're
of
muted,
antics?
Velvet.
Sorry. Thank you.
What in the world
Velvet.
have we ended up in now?
Velvet would definitely say, now, is this part of my debt, or is everyone here indebted to the mafia?
I certainly don't recall any debts, but then again, there's not much I do recall. Do I owe you some form of currency?
Everyone winds up owing me eventually. Including small, seemingly insignificant little witches from outside of town. Onyxia, the bag is violently removed from your head.
Okay.
But this is not about that, nor about smugglers who I have paid before. And the bag is ripped off of Cordelia.
What the actual fuck is happening?
Now, normally, I would give people a choice in this matter. But desperate times call for desperate measures. Something has been taken from me, or rather, someone. And I want her back. Now, this, and you see a grizzled, just war-torn. You've seen this type of person before. This is a veteran of the war of some sort. Patches, what's your passive perception?
Passive is 13.
Okay, so you can see plainly on this guy's upper arm, in like almost his shoulder area, but not quite, kind of like between bicep and shoulder, is a definite tattoo. This guy was a member of the Imperialist Army. This guy was not one of the good guys in the war. And you've heard through the grapevine of Imperials turning to mercenary work sometimes being bodyguards for people who are definitely not on the up and up. And you see, this idiot before you failed me. He had one job. One tiny little job. To keep my daughter safe. And do you know what happens when people fail me? And you see a purple glint cross her eyes as a hand forms around hers, but it doesn't look humanoid. It looks clawed. It looks terrifying. And it gently lifts this gnome by the throat into the air. But not squeezing. He can still talk. I told you, nothing took her. We ran into the room when we heard her scream, and she was pointing across the room, and all of a sudden just flew out the window right off the bed. There was nothing there. Nothing took my daughter. Nothing and no one. Nothing. You see, this is what happens when people fail me. And the hand sets him back down. His head shoots into the air. His eyes rolling back and blood pouring down. From his eyes, then his nose, and out of his mouth, before he falls in a crumpled heap on the ground. Not gurgling, not breathing. There is nothing left of him. This is what happens when people break a contract with me. And my contracts are, how will you say this, better worded than some petty patrons of people of power would word their own. And you see in front of you 6 vials of blood sitting on what looks like a stone slab. Onyxia, can you give me an Arcana check?
Sure. That's a 7.
You have no clue what this slab is, but it sure looks important. There are all sorts of markings, like Sanskrit, all over it.
What is that?
I'm so happy you asked.
I'm not happy anymore.
And she walks over, and you see from behind you these 2 very large half-elven gentlemen emerge, and then a half-orc behind them. And one of the half-elves is carrying a large scroll and spreads it over the slab. And this is what I mean when I usually give people a choice. They usually give me their blood willingly. And she takes a dagger from out of one of her pockets and slices open her hand. And then slams it down on the parchment. You see the same purple glow that the hand had, spiraling, cracking, spreading in all directions across this parchment. It forms words. The words trail into other words. The words spiral into symbols that you don't recognize. They are a light and then they are dim as it spiders its way towards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all 6 of the vials shatter and spill onto the parchment as well. Now, my daughter was attending university in Ticonderoga, and things did not go very well. Things went very poorly. It is now upon you to find out what happened to my child without delay and without mercy. If you betray this contract, I think you have seen what will happen. You may avoid it for a few seconds longer than he did. But if you betray me, if you dally any more than is necessary in finding her, then you will befall the same fate.
Is this your
I think there's
usual
been a
method?
mistake.
Oh, Morphe. Do you not realize that your boss told me where to find you? Velvet?
Yeah, I figured as such.
You owe a debt. If my daughter is returned to me unharmed, your debt is settled. Former smuggler, I believe you are missing a ship. How would you like that ship to be returned? In better condition than it was left. And those who led the mutiny to be forcefully dealt with.
I mean, that does sound pretty nice, if I'm being honest.
Arsonist. The burner of peach tree who goes unpraised. Left to rot by your country, were you not? In a little apple field. Do you want to stay in the orchard or do you want to see the world? Do you want the glory and the heroism that was promised to you? Or are you content with your anonymity?
It's good.
And you, do you even know who you are? I have some connections that could shed light on your memory. You, small one, would you like not to die? Your family considers you an embarrassment. I think it's time you proved them wrong.
Just because no one wants to believe the things that I know for a fact doesn't mean that, death is more of a construct than anything else. But
Would you
it's
like the
fine. I'll play
opportunity
your
to prove
stupid
it?
game.
And you, little witch, would you like to know what happened to your grandmother, to half of your village that night? I pay very well to be informed of things that go on in this city. The people who come in, the people who may be of use. You all have proven in your pasts that you could be useful, given the right opportunity, the right motive, the chance to prove that you are worth more than those who shat you out, those who treat you like garbage, those who betrayed you and took what was rightfully yours. I'm offering you the chance to do some good. My daughter's not like me. My daughter pushes for the legality of alcohol. That is my primary business. I don't want it to be legal. But she is off pushing for women's suffrage, and that entire movement hinges on prohibition going away. Because it was simply a way to starve out the South. But I can no longer charge a premium if every Tom, Dick, and Harry is selling it on the corner. So, this is a rescue mission. I'm not asking you to do anything even remotely questionable. Unless it means rescuing her, and rescuing her faster. You will do the needful, or the contract will be considered broken. There is a train leaving in approximately 1 hour. It is headed for Ticonderoga. You will be on it.
What's your name?
Arabella Cervanti.
She works for the government. I know it.
If I worked for the government, I would not have to pay people like your comrade, the smuggler, to bring in illicit substances.
See? That's just what they want you to think.
Don't you know you have to pick your battles? Just shut up and listen already.
No.
God.
Never been voluntold before?
I don't even understand why I'm here. I can't even fight. Just make clocks and tell people the truth every single day.
Mechanical expertise is the new currency of the realm.
Well, I guess I'm rich then. Just goes to show you, money doesn't actually mean anything.
Money means a lot of things. And the 3 large gentlemen in the room all draw guns and point them directly at you.
Okay,
And they put the
don't
guns
get
down.
away.
However, there might be sticky situations that require a practiced hand. And your family will be well taken care of in the meantime. Your own mother and father may have come to me hoping for some monetary relief, seeing as their child has taken to slacking and shouting in Times Point.
Parents just don't understand. But, I mean, I didn't know it was that bad. Jeez, they could have told me.
Well, here is the opportunity for you to make it up to them. Now, you all will be returned the equipment that was taken from you when you entered here. And you will be sent to a place within town on the way to the train station where you can pick up odds and ends. As this is short notice, they cannot do big orders unless you plan on coming back. So, either you plan on coming back with my daughter, or you don't get to place orders that take longer than a few minutes. And she
Right.
snaps. All of your magical and non-magical bindings are loosed. How do you react?
Time will just stand up and just start like wringing his hands and looking around the room nervously.
Stand up and stretch. Well, since this is the mission that that has been handed to us, I suppose you might as well just point me in the direction so I can commence.
Honestly, you had me at debt absolvement and rescue.
I like these two. They are smart. They know what's good for them.
So how are we supposed to know, like, let you know that we found her? Like, we're just supposed to show up and give her to you, or what?
That would be the ideal situation.
Do you have a photograph of your daughter? What does she look like?
And like her name, too.
Details. Yes. My daughter's name is also Arabella. She is named after her mother. As for a photograph, you will be given the opportunity to look upon her on your way out. There is a family portrait that was done just before she left for school. Something for her poor mama to look at and weep, for she misses her daughter.
I thank you for your professional courtesy.
Oh, Lucerpan. I look forward to seeing what you do to whoever took my daughter.
Get out of here.
Are
So
you
can
out
we
of here
see?
in the direction of the train station?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we see the gnome's body?
Yeah.
Do any of us recognize him?
No, he's just some merc from the south.
Okay.
Can I go investigate the contract?
Absolutely.
and just like, look at like all the fine print and everything to see if there's like a loophole or something.
Is Madame Cervanti leaving or is she still in the room?
Oh, she's still in the room. She's waiting for you all to do whatever it is you're going to do in response. And yeah, roll an investigation check for the contract.
Oh, 15.
Okay, with a 15, you can see very plainly that it says any attempt to betray her, any attempt to circumvent the contract, any attempt to even so much as take too long to get her daughter back will result in very much not being alive anymore. You may go like this
What
guy.
counts as
You may go like any other. Some implode, some explode.
I was gonna say what counts as taking too long.
If, say, your investigation doesn't require you to wait, if getting to Ticonderoga doesn't require you to wait, if, say, perhaps you were to elect to try to go on foot rather than to go by train.
I've never been on a train.
This would end very badly. Now, you would be, and I will give you at least this much in terms of mechanics, able to roll Constitution saves every 6 seconds against the effects of the contract. It is very arcane magic. It is very high level, and it is not something that is within anyone here's wheelhouse to undo. Could you perhaps find someone to undo it? Yes, but in looking, you would be taking too long.
So
Okay,
I'm going to
well,
start heading
I
towards
guess
the
we'll have to-
door.
I hope to see you all back here very, very soon.
Velvet nods as he walks out of the room to find his materials and says, "Your Majesty," and walks out of the room.
I mimic exactly what Velvet does and curtsy and hollow out.
I like take a deep breath, kind of like wipe my hands off because they are absolutely sweating. I go over to give a handshake to this lady.
She looks down at your hand, clawed and sweaty, and respects that there is some courtesy in it, and actually does just shake your hand.
My grandmother always taught me to do this. Okay. All right. I'll see you soon.
A woman of manners. Your grandmother was
Yeah.
wise.
Did you know her?
I did not, but I did know of her.
Oh.
And apart from being a respectful thorn in each other's side from time to time, we had a beneficial relationship.
Whoa. I didn't know my grandma had connections outside of our small village, really. Wow.
She was quite the prodigy in her youth. And you see her kind of shake off, remembering, and just kind of quietly smile and nod.
I turn and follow the others.
I kind of walk as I walk past her. I think I just stop for a moment and say, Lady Cervantes, you mentioned being able to help me with my memories. I'm going to presume from all of the effort you've went through to procure this new working relationship. I'm going to presume that you were serious about that.
I am quite serious about that. I know the conditions in which you were found, and I know those who surround leaving people in those conditions. I believe those people could be of help if persuaded properly.
Well, it seems as if you know much more about myself than I do. In that case, and say you should look forward to having your daughter back soon.
Thank you.
And he turns and walks out.
Yeah, Chime just looks at her after looking at the contract, still wringing his hands like nervously, and just kind of gives her a little head bow and then scurries off after the others.
And in doing all that,
Mm.
you come into a room. It basically functions as a receptionist desk, but behind the desk is all your shit, including Clips. Eclipse is in a cage behind the
Okay.
desk.
All's good in the world, everybody. We can continue on with what we're doing. Okay. I run over there.
And nobody does anything to stop you if you open the cage and let Eclipse out.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is good and everything is right, and they just leave you to interact amongst yourselves and decide. There is a giant portrait on the wall, and you can see just like the black streaked with gray hair mafia mommy, as you have just experienced, uh, is standing with her hand on the shoulder of another black haired, half elven, very refined looking young woman. She's got bangs cut straight across her forehead, and she also has like a women's suffrage the sash around her because she clearly insisted on having it in the portrait. Um, and you can see the features, they're very similar to her mother. She's striking in her own right.
So did you tell us her like physical attributes of like colors of hair and eyes and things like that? Or did my
Black
ADHD just like run
black
me over?
hair, brown eyes, uh, slightly crooked nose, which is, that's the humanoid leaking through the elven and the half elf, not that perfect astral elf physique that you've got going on. Um, and they are relatively tan in skin color. Um, Beyond that, thin, almost, Hepburn back in the day. I hate using the word wafy, but here we are. Um, Sort of physique on both of them. She very much takes after her mother. It's almost like she's a little clone. Um, the mother's side came through extra strong.
Would I be able to sort of try and make a sketch of this and keep it with me?
Yeah, if you want to take the time, and if this is part of your investigation into finding the daughter, this would not be considered a delay.
Okay, then yes, I'd like to, if I can. But do I need to roll for that?
Yeah, roll a performance check.
Skilled are you up there, friend? That hour's about 40 minutes now.
That is a 14.
Try with advantage just because you're taking the time to do it.
That is a 18.
All right. You managed to get a pretty good likeness. It's not perfect by any aspect, but like you would recognize the same picture again if you saw it from what you've drawn here.
Mm-hmm.
And you managed to even get a little bit of the mom in the background of the picture just for comparison to make sure that you've got the exact dimensions and everything right.
You're really good.
Thank you.
While Velvet's taking the time to do this, and you all are taking the time to go through your suit up montage, is there any conversation that you would like to have amongst yourselves?
I turn around like, well, out of this bunch, I only know one of you. I figure if we're going to be working together for any length of time, we might as well make acquaintance. I am Morphe.
My name's Velvet. I'm the one that he happens to know.
Well, I'm Chime. You've probably heard of me, or at least my family. We're pretty prestigious clockmakers here.
Let's see.
Never heard of you.
Maker of clocks who believes that time is an illusion.
Listen, just because no one understands what I created and what came about, listen, it's just, you don't remember anything, right? Sometimes it's better not to know things.
You know what? You're right. That's why I'm not going to ask any more questions. I'm Cordelia. Call me Corey. Let's go before this scary lady makes it worse.
And you get pointed in the direction of the shop at which everything will be taken care of, and I will actually. So it is. You are south west of the train station by a good 15 minutes. When you get to the shop, it's a little corner shop. You can tell the person here in helping you is fulfilling their own sort of debt. The person comes out and is very apologetic. They're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not usually like this. It's ill prepared out here. I don't have a lot. Not today, but I know you've got to go right now to wherever you're going. If there's anything that you would like specifically that's easily attainable, I probably have it."
Well, I've always wanted to try lock picking because the gears are so similar. Do you happen to have any thieves' tools?
If you don't say it so loud, yeah, I have some thieves' tools.
Sorry.
Middle of the night, right? So it's like
This
1 or 2
before.
in the morning or whatever. Like,
Yeah, you've come out into the street, and there's not a lot of commotion about. For the big pomegranate, the city that supposedly never sleeps, even most of the horses and the carriages are back in like their home base, their stalls, their places outside of the city that don't smell so much of horse manure. and they don't have that welcome smell of slightly rotten garbage, petting zoo, and just damp cobblestone that the rest of the city has. They've all gone home. You've got kind of a run of things going towards the train station, and the train station is going to be probably the most active part of the city at this time of night. And so as you get closer to it, it is a little bit more active, but this store, there are maybe 2 customers milling about. And this little halfling that's coming out helping you, this little tousle-haired blonde halfling running around panicking because, I've got this, I've got that, and they what can I get you? What's the biggest thing that you could want from my shop? Because I'm anything I can give to you, it goes towards my other debts with Madame Cervanti. She's a very nice woman, but I kind of owe her a lot of money.
Do you
I'd
have
take
any
just
spare
about as
health
much.
potions and alchemist kits?
Let me look here.
Expects us to go into.
So, are we paying for this, or is that lady paying for it?
Everything is on the house. It's all taken care of. Don't worry. Don't worry one little bit.
Okay. Do you have friendship bracelet yarn?
Velvet just goes and finds as much ammo as he can find for his
I'll also be
revolver.
looking for some ammunition.
Yarn.
Different colors.
You
It's a
see,
secret, but
you see the halfling just kind of 1 second goes rifling through
yes.
a drawer.
Oh
The
yeah,
drawer
that's where the good stuff is.
has not been opened in quite some time. There was a layer of dust on this that was visibly disturbed by the fact that this halfling has opened this drawer.
That's good. That's probably good quality stuff in there. Not gonna lie to you.
And there are about maybe 4 colors of yarn. Most of them are either stained, sun bleached, or just in some way worn by time. You have your pick from dull teal, gray brown, and a very, very sun washed yellow. It's so pale.
Can I get the dull teal and the gray brown?
Yeah, sure. Just take them. That'd have been on the house anyway.
Oh, see, I'm easy.
Now, shopkeep, what's your name again?
My name, it's. I hate telling people my name. It's Trick Picklefoot.
All right.
That's unfortunate.
Pardon me.
You got any Bowie knives?
Love pickles.
Knives we got coming out of our ears, and just opens up, just shoos out the 2 like remaining customers, shuts the door really quickly, and then opens up what you can see as a back display of just like knives, swords of varying size, just illegal shit that is clearly being stocked by Madame Cervanti for Madame Cervanti, but you've got access to it. And the cops certainly should not.
I'm gonna go look for like a carving knife.
Can you pick one out for me?
Sure, I guess I'll get you the prettiest one. Is that what you want? I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right, well, we're fucked then, aren't we? So I'm gonna find a carving knife for myself, and then quite literally find like the most aesthetically pleasing knife I can, and take it over to Anixia.
Okay, Anixia,
Um,
this knife actually looks like it was reserved for Madame Cervanti.
I don't
There,
want this one.
there's pearl in the handle. There is
Oh,
opal in the handle. There is marbling,
Well,
and the
C and a
steel
fancy
almost
text
looks
on
like
it.
Damascus.
do you think she would miss this if we took this, or should I put it back?
she told
Picklefoot.
me she told me you get whatever you want. Whatever you want, it's on the house. If it comes from her stock, if it comes from mine, it doesn't matter as long.
Wait. I take it now. She has a contract on me. I carry this with me. She's gonna want it back. She can't. I'm taking it. Thank you.
Now, would I be able to say I have a finesse knife?
Yeah, that would be
Oh,
that'd be finesse. That'd work. Um, so beyond the alchemist kit, the thieves' tools, the Bowie knife, the carving knife, the yarn, and the fanciful knife.
Were potions
Yeah.
not
Well,
available?
and-
let's
wait, I wasn't done.
Duh.
Any extra arrows that they might have, and I'm just gonna shoot my shot here because it's not on my dime, but like, do you have like a bag of holding or some shit?
Oh,
No,
thank.
I thought about that, but didn't want to ask. I figured that
Look,
would be
I
can't.
honestly couldn't give a fuck. I mean, if I'm gonna
Anything,
die, I might as well have a bag of holding.
anything that comes out of my stock goes towards my debt with her. You want a bag of holding? It just so
Yeah.
happens.
Oh
It
yeah.
just so happens.
Oh yeah.
I got one.
Oh, that's all we need. Cause yeah.
I'm just gonna rudely snag that out of his hand.
Oh yeah.
You want to be careful with that one, though. Guy who gave it to
yeah,
me
Oh god.
last didn't look so hot. I don't know why.
Did you guys know that there's a story about a monster in bags of holdings? Did you know that?
I did not know that, but as you mention it, he turns and looks at the bag. Is it normal, or does it look different from what one would
Did
expect?
you turn it inside out when you got it?
I'm not sticking my hand in there. I don't know if it's gonna come back.
Oh, Nixia, why don't you hold that bag then?
Okay.
Since you seem experienced.
Hmm.
Sure, here,
How
and
are
I
you gonna
toss it.
handle the monster?
Now, do you got any throwing knives in there too?
Are we becoming friends?
Yeah,
Yes.
there are plenty of throwing knives.
Wonderful.
How many do you
What
need?
about any bracers?
Uh, bracers? No, we're out of those right now. Not a
Hot
lot of
damn.
call for them right now. Um,
Out of curiosity, you wouldn't happen to have any type of armor in there, chest plates, things of the like.
there might be something, but it's mostly leather.
Uh,
You wouldn't happen to have any camouflage leather, would you? I'm not super great at fighting. So they're just hang out in the back.
I've never heard of camouflage leather before. That's a first for me.
How about some leaves? You got leaves? And just stick them to me.
There are leaves outside. I I don't think that anybody's gonna charge you for leaves. Now I
Oh,
heard somebody asking
yeah.
for throwing knives and somebody asking for potions.
Yeah, I'm gonna double up on that potion thing. Any kind of healing potions you got, I'll take them. Whatever
I'll take
Morphier
for
don't
one.
want.
Okay, so Sphinx and gentlemen, how many potions were you looking for? And
Two
what
Yeah.
each
kind?
at least.
Yeah, I suppose about two each should be sufficient for starters, unless you happen to have a surplus that you could spare.
I've got
It
about
spread through the group anyway.
I've got a dozen pack that I can spare and not look suspicious to the locals or the cops. Um, but there is one that's greater on top of that I've been keeping him back in case somebody came in. Would y'all want that?
Yeah, we should probably give that to Chime considering he's not going to be much help and he's squishy.
Oh, thanks.
We should keep it in the bag. Because you never know.
What, are you going to steal the bag?
No. But, like, I'm kind of squishy too.
You a practice quartermaster?
All right, just don't steal my shit or so help me, I will find you.
Well, you gave me this knife, so we're friends.
That's how that works? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Bigger trap than the madam gave us.
So how many potions are we each going to have?
2.
2 each?
Like two apiece.
And then one bigger one.
Um,
The greater variety.
I also realize it's the herbalism kit and not the alchemist kit that makes more potions.
Well, I happen to have both. Wouldn't be much of a corner store if I didn't have those supplies on hand. So you want the herbalism kit, thieves' tools, bowie knife, carving knife, yarn, throwing knives. How many throwing knives was that?
I was going to grab 10.
Right. Potions, greater healing.
Did you include arrows in that?
Arrows, and ammunition? Am I right?
Yeah, I think between me and Patches, we got all your ammunition.
All right. So we've got 20 rounds of ammunition for what? I'm assuming those are like those are revolvers, right? Those are just normal, everyday.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Alright. 20 rounds of ammunition. Got the greater healing. And we wanted the arrows. The arrows. That was the last thing. Okay, the arrows. We've got about 12 arrows. But 2 of them are combustible and 2 of them are explosive.
I'll take all of them.
So 8 normal arrows, 2 combustible.
As in 2 would start a fire, and
Yes.
2 would
And 2
explode.
would send shrapnel all over the damn place. Do not shoot it off in my shop.
Well, you're no fun.
Listen, I owe her enough money. I don't need to go into more debt trying to repair this place. It's falling apart as it is. And you see a shelf literally just kind of start to give as that is said.
That was
You know what? You're
communicated.
right. I'll just leave you alone.
In an effort to not be so squishy as Cordelia put it, could I have some studded leather, please?
Studded leather. We do have studded leather armor. It's a little older, but it'll still do the job.
Oh, and you got any ball bearings?
Ball bearings. No, no, we are out of ball bearings.
What
I have
about
some.
watertight adhesive?
Watertight adhesive. That would take me about a week to get in right now.
Oh, well, fuck.
Everything with this shit going on in Ticonderoga, it is drying up business all over the damn place. Everybody is shipping to Ticonderoga for this giant, obnoxious festival that should have frankly been here and gotten me more business.
Yeah, well, sounds like you need to open a booth or something and go there. But that's just me. What do I know?
You got the money for the ticket, you got the money to set up the booth, you got that. This is not something that is within my means.
If it'll help you
What's
pay
her
off
face? The
debt
creepy lady.
faster.
The
Yes, Miss
creepy lady I
Lady
already owe money
Savanta.
for this shop to begin with. I don't want to be in more debt to her.
She seems to like expediting things. I'm sure getting you a wider audience would expedite you paying off your debts. She should
Mm-hmm.
be amicable to that.
You seem
Oh,
to be laboring under the delusion that she wants me out of debt. It
that's
does
fair.
not behoove many people to not keep people under their thumb in this city. That's why she, up the hill, can afford her house to be wired with Vaughn's Electric. Everybody
So,
else down
last
here is still
thing,
on Gaslight.
you got any cupcakes or?
You think I'm running a bakery in the back? I've got guns.
Look, I thought maybe you were worth a shit. All right, Jesus, whoever that guy is. I'm just gonna grab my purchases and like go wait in the back and be grumpy.
Last thing I'll ask, you got a forgery kit?
Forgery kit. You know, I've got some stuff in the back that could be cobbled together into a makeshift one. It won't be perfect, but you could more or less do the job with what's in there.
I'll take what you got.
Okay, then one. Wouldn't call it broken. One.
Lackluster.
Ineffective. One lackluster. That's good. Lackluster forgery kit. Sorry, I'm keeping note of all this for Cervantes so she can fuck off and tell me I don't owe her money anymore. Okay, so we've got the herbalist kit, the thieves'
Hmm.
tools, the Bowie knife, the carving knife, the yarn, the throwing knives, the pretty knife, the potions, the greater healing potion, 20 rounds of ammunition, 8 arrows, 2 combustible arrows, 2 explosive arrows, 1 studded leather armor, and 1 lackluster forgery kit.
I have one more question.
Okay.
I've never been on a train before. Are ravens allowed to be out, or do I need to get a cage?
If Madame Cervanti got you a ticket, you could go on the train naked. I don't think they'd bother you.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, chuckleheads, let's get going before we miss the train.
Thank you,
Let's
Trick.
set off on this grand adventure.
And
Grand adventures,
And-
threat of violence.
one of you said sir, one of you said ma'am. Trick Picklefoot did not bat an eye. Trick Picklefoot is gender fluid.
Well, thank you for the information.
Now you head out into the street in the general direction of the train station. Um, you know what? Roll a perception check.
Buddy?
Everyone?
Anyone
Yeah.
who wants to.
I see
6.
nothing with this 8.
Oof, I got 5.
Fuck me. 3.
7.
Surprise. No one rolled above a 10.
You're not very perceptive.
So I got 6.
All right, you don't notice anything.
Oh, sorry. 7.
I got an 18.
An 18? Onyxia, you feel eyes on you. You don't know from where, but you feel eyes on you.
Are they eyes like the ones that I feel specially, or are they not special like eyes?
You can't tell.
Okay. Hey everybody. So to formally introduce myself while we're walking, I'm Onyxia. And those that consider me their friend can call me Onyx. And this here is Eclipse or Clips or Clip, kind of whatever. We're friends. But I just wanted to let you all know that I do have like a little tingling sensation that we are in fact being watched at this current point in time.
I wouldn't put it past
And
Madame
why do you
Cervantes to
find
have
that surprising?
Yeah, I
We're
wouldn't
on a
put it.
city street. Of course we're being watched.
She's
Just
just
always
so-
assume you're being watched.
she
Okay,
has
so I'm gonna
to-
give you. I'm from a small little town, like in the mountains. This is truly the first time I've ever been anywhere with roads.
Not to feed into Chime's conspiracy theories, but I wouldn't put it past Madame Cervantes to have a professional scryer on us. So we could be watched from everything we do from this point on until we get that daughter of hers.
She's got our blood. She can do pretty much anything she wants with that.
Yeah, those damned
Look,
We're
bro.
10 feet from her door. Why is she spending time scrying on us? That's dumb.
You're about, I don't know,
I also could be wrong.
you're about 20 minutes away. You spend about 5 minutes in the shop. You've got about probably a good 15 minutes left. It's a 5-minute walk to the station. So you're getting in with about 10 minutes to spare to get to the train.
All right, I start heading off in that direction. Bye, y'all.
Wait.
I'm going on the train.
Wait,
Get to the
wait.
train, then we have plenty of time to talk.
No, I'm coming. I'm following Cordelia.
Chime casts prestidigitation on himself to like clean himself up now with the old leather armor and everything, so he's like spotless and shiny.
Oh, Velvet heads in the train as well.
All right. Morphier?
Oh yeah, I'm heading to the train as well.
You get into the train station. Unlike outside, which, yeah, there are people coming and going at all times from the train station itself, but beyond the doorways to the train, they just kind of dissipate throughout the city. Inside is relative chaos to what you've seen outside. People pushing, people shoving, people rolling bags behind them, people enchanting bags to fly through the air behind them. It is an absolute sensory nightmare, especially for people like Onyxia who have never been anywhere with roads before. But it's grand at the same time. It is huge. It is sprawling. You're going to have to find which track and how to get there in terms of the train.
Oh,
Um. Okay. So, what's the name of the this to
Can I start
again?
looking for signs
Um. Is I'm
of what
looking for a
trains were?
conductor.
Yeah, roll an
Someone.
investigation check.
Someone. Can I find a conductor somewhere or an
Oh,
employee? Someone that looks like they're wearing uniform.
19.
With the 19, you see there's a schedule. There's a train schedule that's up on the board, and you can see that somebody's getting up to erase one of the trains, and they're erasing arriving and putting departing, and they're almost to writing the I, but they start to almost write an E next to the one for Ticonderoga.
Wait. Has that left yet? Are you updating it because it left?
You've got about. I'm going on break in 5 minutes. It'll be gone by the time you've got. It's up those stairs.
Just point me in the right direction,
It,
please.
over to your left, over there. It's up
I
those
start walking
stairs.
away while they're still talking.
How far?
yeah.
How far? Is it within 30 feet of me?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Velvet, sensing the urgency, barrels after Cordelia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chan goes too.
Miss
I just
Cordelia?
use prestidigitation to make an arrow appear in the air to anyone that doesn't see the direction we went on.
I hate to say it, folks, but this may be life or death. We got to catch that train.
Yep. I want my ship, so we're gonna go now. I start going in and hand my ticket over to the conductor or whoever is checking us in and go find a seat.
All right. Are we all boarding?
All
You
Yeah.
literally hear someone yell, "All aboard!" Next
11,
stop,
I say.
Ticonderoga. Next stop, Ticonderoga. Last
How long of a
call.
ride is this? How long of a ride
What
is this going to be? And
A few hours.
No one knows. Just read a book or like make some necklaces or whatever the hell you were doing and just sit down and just enjoy it. All right? Look, we got some time.
Look, yeah,
Just be.
now that we are all set out and we have time to heal, as you say, I'm going to presume that other than owing a debt of some form, he had no reason for assembling this motley crew of us together. What, may I ask, are you all specialities? For example, and he reaches to his sides and pulls out the one of the large metallic orbs that looks like it's full of some swimming liquid. Is for example, myself, I don't know if it's me or these things here anyway, but they managed to uh, tamper with the arcane around us, and he kind of has them float a bit and has like sparks kind of rotate across the elements. Like he kind of goes from like a fire bolt to like the like frostiness to like electricity that just courses over the surface of the globes. Is now what is it that you all do?
So
Morphier,
Now,
your specialty is being extra?
Morphier, as you do that, you sense something at the base of your skull and in your chest. It's not the magic within the orb itself, but your power to conduct it. And you can feel that, and there is something within you that there's somewhere between a purr and a low frequency hum. that may not be entirely you.
Makes note of that feeling and package it away for later.
Now, Morphe might already know this, but my only expertise here is glowing and this here revolver.
I'm sorry, did you say glowing?
I mean, yeah, my wings are glowing right here, and he turns around and his full body size wings are just giving off a faint luminescence.
That doesn't mean that you're like feeling funny or something, are you? Because if so, then I'm gonna go to the other side of the train because
No,
that's
it's
weird.
just always there. I can turn it off temporarily if I need to be stealthy or somewhat, but as of now and regularly, they glow normally.
Right.
Wow.
So you're
Okay.
just a glowing nightlight.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, I'm a smuggler and a fighter, so don't fuck with me, man.
So I'm extra, and you just like to punch things. That's what
Correct.
I take it. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I like sailing. The ocean is it's I would prefer a boat right now.
Well, I used to make clocks. Now I just tell people the truth about what's really going on. I bet all those feelings of being watched are probably just the supreme beings. They control us, you know.
I
You know
see.
what? You're right. I think I'm feeling one control me right now.
Oh
And I
man,
get up
really?
and I walk 3 seats over and I sit down and start ignoring Chime.
Well, that's the reaction I normally get. At least no one's throwing rocks at me.
I take it since you were referred to several times as a witch, Onyxia, that you may have some expertise in magic.
I'm sorry. I'm getting a little distracted because I've never been in a train before. But yeah, I do magic sometimes. Yeah.
And it's at this point, Eclipse just sort of ruffles feathers and lets out a little ah.
And he's pretty cool. He actually, my grandma would do this sometimes. So he would follow us around when we were kids, and sometimes when we were getting into trouble, he would watch us, and then he would say back what we said to my grandma and get us in trouble.
I'm gonna snitch raven.
Hmm. It doesn't
You
seem
sure
like
that
a
bird
good
is
I wouldn't
real?
share
trustworthy
those stories
companion.
with people that are in the mafia or at least have ties to the mafia. I'd keep that story to yourself from here on out.
And
I'd be like,
at this point,
What's the mafia?
Eclipse turns to Chime and says, "Are you sure that bird is real?"
I told you. I told you.
I don't know. I don't like anything that listens to me all the time. Kind of ironic.
I'm gonna point up and where like some of the people's belongings are, and there's like a briefcase up there. And I'm gonna say, take a look at that. And then you're gonna see my arm kind of like pop up, and this tendril will come out. And I kind of just go like, and it shoots out, and it grabs a hold of the handle, and pulls it down to the ground, and then retracts back in.
What the fuck?
Are you some kind of man spider?
What the fuck?
That's what I can
I
do.
think I've seen that before. And then Chine gets up
not
and
just
walks
like that.
like past everybody else and just sits on the other side of the train car.
I think Morphe actually gets up and walks closer to Patches. Like, huh, that was quite an interesting trick you pulled off there. I can't say that I've seen anything like that before.
Seen a lot of things, but I haven't seen the likes of pretty much any of you. So
Oh, one more thing. I'm a healer. Probably comes in handy in the future. But if any of you get some scratches or diseases or poisons in you, I can take care of that.
Yep.
very important.
All right, the train starts to move slowly at first, begins to pick up speed, just eventually starts humming along.
Um,
And you said the train's busy, right?
The train's got a fair few people in it, yeah. In the passenger car.
so have all of you been like in the big cities before?
Born and raised.
To a lot of cities
I
with my
have to be.
family.
At least for the last several months. I don't know about before that.
From any city, but I've been in them and done things to them.
Um,
I
I'm
mean, if
gonna
you
scooch
count
a little
raiding,
further
like,
away from Patches. From Patches, just a touch.
I mean, if you count going to warehouses to find things and shit like that, then sure. But I tend to try and avoid all that.
I I see.
Now, Onyxia, I ask only because you seem to be proficient in the Arcana region. Do you know of any sort of ability to abduct someone through a window without nothing being near?
Well, um, there is a spell that my grandma used. Well, okay, so yes. Long story short, yes. There are a few spells like Dimension Door, um, things like that, teleportation circles. Um, yeah, yeah.
All right.
So, if these
Um,
things exist, why was she so reticent to accept it as fact? Seems that poor gentleman's story might have had a modicum of truth to it.
I don't think she cared. I think she wants a daughter.
Like, well, spells need to be cast by somebody.
unless it wasn't a spell, it could have also been a sort of ability that any kind of monster or creature could have had.
What if she casts a spell on herself and she doesn't want to be found?
I was wondering that too. I
No,
mean,
you may not be wrong on that.
seems like the daughter and mother are diametrically opposed.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Certainly can't be the easiest woman to get along with.
So inside this train car, there are private cabins. You can see that a couple of them are more or less vacant right now, despite the fact that this train is pretty full. Um, and you realize as the ticket puncher comes around and they say, "Oh, you're not supposed to be just out here with uh, anybody."
The hell's that supposed to mean?
Please don't put a bag on her head.
No, you're supposed to be in one of those private cabins. You've got the good tickets.
Nobody told us nothing.
Well, please, sir, show us our way.
Well, and he
Is
gets
there a
up.
table in there?
No, there are not tables in the private cabins.
Hmm.
They're just like better cushioned seats, little bit of privacy, things like that. And you can go in, you can close yourself in, you can feel relatively secure. You can sleep away the journey if you want on the way to this bigger city.
Baker?
Sleep.
All right, I'm gonna go meditate in one of the cabins. If you want something, don't. And I get up and walk off to one of the private cabin, or whichever one. I don't know if they're assigned or not.
Yeah, I'll go and do the same. I meditate as well.
I'm gonna play with my tarot cards.
In the cabin?
Yeah.
All right.
So, do we each have our own cabin, or are we all in one cabin?
There are 2 cabins.
Oh, okay.
About 3 of you fit in each one.
Okay. Chime will go on the one that Anixie is going into.
I'll
I'm
go
going
in
into the one with whichever one doesn't seem hostile towards me right now.
I'll go in the one with Cordelia, just because I know we're both going to be silent at the same time.
Oh, nope. Not there then.
All right, and I'm just gonna enter my astral trance.
Before you get there, and I'm assuming Morphier and Patches, are you electing to stay outside of the cabins, or are you going in?
I'll probably just walk in. I probably not paying attention to who's in either cabin. I just walk in, sit down in a corner, and like pull those 2 orbs out, and you just see him start like tinkering with them again, just silently in his own little corner.
Real quick, Velvet would like to use one of his divine sense abilities and try to see if there's any strong, evil, celestial, undead presence within 60 feet of the private cabins.
Nope.
Got it.
You can.
And he just also goes about his meditation.
Patches?
I'm gonna stay where I am in the public area, but I'm gonna be like flexing my fake hand as I am still dealing with the phantom limb.
You get about 2.5, maybe 3 hours into this journey, and you hear a thump, a second thump, a third, fourth, fifth, above you.
Is it supposed to do that?
Rather than on the tracks
No.
below.
Whoa.
You hear some commotion. You hear a little bit of glass breaking. You hear luggage falling
Fail.
from
Get
outside
up
of the
and-
doors.
Stick my head outside of the door and figure out, try and see what's happening.
Roll a Constitution saving, or sorry, Dexterity saving throw.
Oh, watch my head get taken off. Yep, watch my head get taken off with the 10.
With a 10, you just manage to pull your head back enough as a dagger comes whizzing by.
What in the world?
And that, I believe, is where we're going to take our break for midway.
Hi.
All right.
Hi, I'm Onyxia, or as my friends like to call me, Onyx. So, a little bit about myself. I'm from a small little town here in New Talkit. My family, we live at the base of a mountain, and we kind of always look up to it. We kind of have this thing where giants kind of ruled the world one day back when, and we kind of just like to follow in their footsteps. But enough about my family. It's more about me and my favorite person in the whole world, my grandma. But, right, myself. So let's see here. I like making friends. I'm pretty curious about what's going on. And I kind of like mysterious things. And if I can use my nose to figure out a mystery, you better believe I'm gonna do it. But my story begins about 25 years ago. That's how old I am. And I used to spend a lot of my days with my grandmother. Her name was Grandma Arikson, or as I called her, Grammy Ari. And I will say that she had a lot of grandchildren, but I was kind of her favorite because I was the only one that would listen to her and go to the mountain and practice magic with her and really just kind of cared about what she did. But enough about that. So basically, I learned everything that I know from her. She was my best friend, and, well, she was my role model. I guess she still is my role model. Well, a few years ago, my grandma and we were out on the mountain on a beautiful night, and we were looking up at the stars, and she was telling me the story, and it was just one of those, everything feels right. And I don't really remember everything that happened, but something happened in my village, and they were looking, well, these people were looking for my grandma, and, well, they found her, and, well, not to be a little morbid, but they did kill her. But before she passed, she kissed my forehead, and all of this stuff started happening. And she used to have this pet raven, and its name is Eclipse, or Clips as we call it. And they were like best friends too, always going everywhere. And after she kissed me, Eclipse started following me around, which is kind of cool because the more I'm learning about it, the more I'm learning that Eclipse is not just a normal raven, but it's kind of pretty special. My grandma said her last words, and this is very important. She said, "I love you. I want you to remember that, and know that I will always be with you." And well, I guess she's never left. Weird, but okay, not what I want to talk about. And I'm being asked to tell a little bit about what I'm doing. So right now I'm in my room, in the big pomegranate, because my family, we have this tradition that when we turn 25, we go out and we explore, just like the long lost, or well, lost to us, giants of the days of past. And so I'm on my sojourn and I'm traveling around exploring, and here I am. I know there's a big festival going on, so I said, well, let's head that way. And I turned my tail, and that's where I am. So right now I'm just in my room. It's pretty nice for what I can afford, but it's not bad. I'm really excited for this festival. I'm excited to make some new friends because, let me tell you, it's been a little lonely here on the roads. I'm just looking forward to what the future brings me.
Haha, howdy guys. My name is Chime Turner, and some people call me the most gifted clockmaker in, I don't know, 7 generations? Anywho, I've always been proud of my family, and we've done a whole lot of work for this city. We sure know our stuff and what makes a clock tick, literally. I'm a bit ashamed to say this, but well, I started getting a bit bored with the humdrum day-to-day clocks and started working on a project of my own. And boy howdy, did it take a long time before it worked. Oh, but boy did it work. And my eyes were opened. Time is a construct. There is no God. We are controlled by the Supremes. It's all just a game.
Growing up in Hillmouth, an area known for its high concentration of Lushapan halflings, I was surrounded by me extended family. Me mother, Aoife McDougal, overprotective, always trying to feed everyone. Went from homemaker to essentially Rosie the Riveter during the war. Me da, Patrick Paddy O'Doul Jr., was an apple orchard farmer. fell from a tree a bit before the war, and has been sort of laid up since. He was unable to fight in the war. My younger sister, Saoirse O'Doul, turned an old farmhand's house into a B&B and runs that along with the apple stand and the cidery. My baby brother, Finn O'Doul, runs the orchard now, but he's a bit young and over his head. He's kind of a savant. He gets the right answer, but how he gets there makes no sense. In the days before the war started, and everybody knew it was on the cusp of happening, my father took me aside and after working at the orchard one day, and he said, "Son, you know, war is brewing, and you have a choice to make, volunteer or conscription. If you go to them, you get some choice of what you'll do, but if they come get you, they dictate everything. Plus, volunteers are heroes." The next day, I enlisted and started training. One day, relatively early in the war, a troopmate of mine stepped on a landmine. I was too close. I was sent flying, and when I came to, I was told it's been a couple of days later, and that I was in a super secret lab underground at the Capitol. Before I was even aware of my surroundings, a human male and half-elf female entered the room. They never introduced themselves. They told me that my accident gave me the opportunity to help my people in ways I could never imagine as just a foot soldier. This was about when I realized I had been restrained. I was told if I really wanted to freak out, I should look at my right arm, and just below the elbow, it was gone. While they spoke to me, a doctor came over with a prosthetic. The doctor started installing it while the two told me about how the prosthetic worked and its special capabilities. I could barely hear them. I was on the verge of complete shock. By the time my head was clear again, they finished with the line I'll never forget: "You are now a proud agent of Duronica." A day later, I was taken to a training course to learn my new capabilities. And the day after that, I started working in the field. My biggest stop was to go in advance of the troops to Peachtree, where they planned to fight and burn the city down. I got there and started the fire in earnest an hour before the main force arrived. Military force all over in a panic, and then our people arrived to take over.
Velvet was named for the clubroom floor material he was conceived on. Anyone could have been his biological father, and his mother might as well have not been there at all. When Velvet was old enough to walk and think for himself, he was sent out to do something besides eat, drink, and shit. He was found and taken in by the local City Guard youth training group. There, they taught him how to fight and sense danger as a paladin. He came of age and joined the City Guard. Learning the ways of the town he came to long to protect. His fellow guardsmen, though, got involved in some messy business, and Velvet ended up having to kill one of his own. Little did he know that his self-defense scenario turned murder led to him taking on all the debt his victim owed to the Mafia. With the shame of his ties to the criminal underworld, he took to bartending instead at a speakeasy to earn his keep and pay back the debt that was thrown on him. He's been bartending now at this speakeasy for coming up on 10 years. He hopes to one day be free of his debt, and especially hopes that others don't end up like him. So he helps patrons of the bar in their times of need. Nightlife is his life. He detests the bright sun, and he doesn't wake up much past late afternoon. He takes pride in the establishment he works for. He keeps it clean, flowing, and he keeps it under the radar while he works there. He does his best for everyone. That way the whole group and society at large will benefit. He seeks to dismantle the system of government oppressing his place of business, and he tends to overreact to a drunken challenger. There's not a bar he won't fight in.
As Morpheus Strixander gradually awakened, he found himself lying in a dimly lit room, surrounded by shadows that danced across the walls. His mind felt foggy, as if shrouded in a thick mist that obscured memories and identity alike. Slowly pushing himself up, he glanced around, taking in the sight of the unfamiliar chamber. Beside him lay two metallic orbs, their surfaces glinting faintly in the subdued light. Though they seemed foreign and enigmatic, a strange sense of familiarity washed over Morpheus as he reached out to touch them. As his fingertips made contact, a surge of energy pulsed through him, sparking a flicker of recognition in the depths of his consciousness. No recollection of his past, Morpheus found himself adrift in a sea of uncertainty. He found himself mixing with all sorts of people, not really being able to tell if someone meant him harm or good. Embracing the chaos that engulfed him, Morphier embraced a philosophy of spontaneity and indulgence. To him, life was a grand tapestry of experiences waiting to be woven, each thread adding its own unique hue to the vibrant mosaic of existence. Driven by an insatiable thirst for excitement, Morphier became a daring risk-taker, unafraid to plunge headlong into the unknown. His brash demeanor and penchant for speaking his mind often left others taken aback. Yet beneath the surface lay a subtle madness, reminiscent of the enigmatic grin of a Cheshire cat. Over time, Morphier began to unravel the mysteries of the metallic orbs that had been his companions since awakening. Within their depths, he discovered regions of extraordinary power, catalysts that hinted at the boundless potential lying dormant within him. With each revelation, Morphier's understanding of his own abilities blossomed, filling him with a newfound sense of confidence and self-assurance. In his quest for discovery, Morphier found solace amidst the dimly lit confines of a clandestine speakeasy, where he worked as a bartender, his keen ears attuned to the whispers of gossip and intrigue that whispered through the shadows. It was here that he forged connections and unraveled the mysteries of his past, one cocktail at a time. Clad in attire befitting a gentleman of decent taste, Morphier sported leather-like gloves adorned with metallic claws, a subtle reminder of the primal nature that lurked beneath his civilized facade. With each passing day, he embraced the chaos of his existence, knowing that within the swirling maelstrom lay an uncertainty, the true essence of his life's meaning. The last rays of the day's sunlight streamed through the crowded speakeasy. Smoke-filled room was alive with the sound of clinking glasses and jovial conversation, while movers and shakers made deals in every corner. The smooth jazz coursing through the room is interrupted as the front doors burst open. This is a raid. Everybody freeze. Morphier's stick-stander sets down the glass he was cleaning. The metallic tips of his clawed gloves are shining as much as the glassware. Fixes his golden-rimmed eyes on the newcomers, his hand instinctively reaching down to touch one of the golden orbs at his side. The eyes of the patrons flip between himself and the group. With a practiced movement, he straightens his waistcoat and heads towards the door, paying no heed to the guns being pointed in his direction. With a smile not unlike a Cheshire cat, he says, My gentleman, you look awfully thirsty. Why don't I fix that for you?" The officers look at one another and begin to surround him.
For as long as she can remember, Corey's known the sound of crashing waves was as much part of her as her own name. The tangy scent of salt and the sound of billowing wind on fabric have always been home. Her dreams, her nightmares, her ever-present soundtrack has always been, and will always be, the ocean. With a father and his crew who raised her to make her living on the sea, Corey has never missed a beat. Whether she's slipping into an accent she learned from one of the crewmates to throw off would-be arresters, or fudging the ship ledger to pinch a few extra goods or coin here and there, she hasn't been caught yet. She doesn't plan on that changing. You see, her father found her floating in what he called a pod. She had no idea what the hell's that meant, but she didn't argue. You can't interrupt the captain when he's telling a story, when he's in a once-in-a-double-blue-moon mood to reminisce.
The SS Cordelia, that was your namesake. The beauty of a ship I was at the helm of when I found you. Jones? Well, of course, that was Davy Jones himself. Silly girl, have I taught you nothing? Anyways, when I found you, that strange pod seemed like it was breathing, almost as alive as you were. That gave me a right start. I couldn't help myself, though. As soon as I heard your little muffled cries inside of that metal monstrosity, I had the men go out in the lifeboats and scoop you up. We couldn't just leave you there. I somehow knew you were going to be my little accomplice, and that's what you became.
Her father, a rare breed of fawn from up north, much to the surprise of those who judged him upon first glance, was a quiet and gentle man with her. She couldn't blame people for being wary of him. A deep, coarse voice, a broken antler, scars covering his face, and tattoos up his arms that slipped under his rolled-up sleeves didn't exactly endear him to the common folk on the land. However, he'd sooner throw a crew member overboard than let anyone treat her as lesser. She was raised by well-meaning men and thems who were patient and taught her to navigate, load a cannon, shoot an arrow, tie a knot, throw a punch. She could go on. Is it not suitable for a lady? You bet she's 100% gonna become the best humanoid at it the world over. Unlike her father, Corey is an astral elf. Her long white hair stays in a Dutch braid down the center of her head, her green eyes stay alert at all times, and a smug smile is never far from her lips. Neither is a dirty joke or a sarcastic remark. Sound unruly? You're damn right. She wouldn't have it any other way.
And we're back.
I bought a raven stuffed animal in her break.
I love that.
So, daggers whizzing past your ears. Patches still out and about.
Like you show you're still muted.
Sorry. I pull my head back into the compartment and just simply slide the door closed, back closed. Uh, Hopefully that stays out there. And I just sit back down. Somebody's out there roughhousing.
Whose cabin were you in? Was this the Chime and Anixia cabin or the Velvet and Cordelia cabin?
I think it was the Chime and Anixia cabin.
Oh, I start freaking out.
Oh, calm down. There's nothing to be worried about. I'm certain that the train security will have it handled momentarily.
This just happens on
Yeah.
trains?
Probably. I don't make it a habit of riding the train.
I literally hate it here right now.
Yeah, did you happen to see the security out there? Cause, I'm a little nervous. Not that any of this really matters, but, it's kinda...
No, I was too busy dodging flying daggers that were coming towards my head. I didn't take the time to look for anyone else.
Velvet and
And,
Cordelia, hearing this, do you do anything?
I think I would have heard if Murphy stuck his head out and said, I forget what he exclaimed whenever he
what
stuck his head
the
out.
hell?
Yeah,
What the hell?
I think Velvet, knowing Morphier, would have stuck his head out as well, wondering what was bothering him.
Okay. Do you have a look around at this point?
Yeah, I'll take a look to my. I'm not sure in which direction Morphier is as far as my cabin and his cabin, but
Your cabin would be right across the hall. We'll say for the sake of ease that you went to the right when the talkative cabin went to the left. And Are you gonna look left or right out of your cabin door?
I'll look left first.
Left.
And I'd like to stick my head out next to him and look the other way at the same time.
All right.
Back.
Like Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, battle map.
Damn.
what
Oh,
the two of you, and I'll put you here and here for now. See is Patches over here in the corner, and the three of them in this cabin. And coming from okay, if my dice tray will let my mouse let go of it, that'd be great. The front and back of the cabin are three black and gold clad figures. And I would like to know what you all wish to do at this point, as they
Hungry.
have landed one dagger in a civilian
oh.
in the leg,
Um,
but they don't appear to be yelling that it's a stick up. They are masked, they are hooded. They don't appear to be making demands. They just appear to be causing damage.
I'd like to pull out my hand axes and start assessing the situation. Like, do I recognize them?
You can't
Or-
recognize anyone because they are literally hooded and masked.
Well, I meant like, does it look like a certain group would dress whenever they're holding the place up?
For you, roll a history check.
Okay. Huh, 2?
Yeah, you have no fucking clue.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I roll insight or not roll? I should probably say Velvet would go to surmise what their intentions are. Like, do they seem like they're looking for somebody, specifically us, if possible, but I'm not sure if I would know that they're looking for us just by looking at them.
Just you can go ahead and roll an insight check for body language.
Okay. Oh, I'm proficient in insight. That's right. That is a. Oh, that's only an 11.
You can't really tell if they're looking for you, but they do appear to be looking around. You do see
Gotcha.
eyes and heads turning as they make their way further into the car. Patches, you doing anything out there?
Yeah, I'd like to act like I'm doing a little bit of a stretch, and I'm gonna try to put my leg and my foot out in the way of one of them walking by, and try to trip them.
So you're gonna come over here and try to trip this one. Let's just make this straight dexterity because this is like sleight of hand meets movement at the same time and a little bit of deception, but let's just make it straight dexterity.
That's an 11.
So you stick your leg out and you do get noticed by the one wielding guns heading down the way, and they turn and point a gun in your face. I believe this is one of them. And
Do I hear that?
you specifically may need to roll some initiative.
Is that all of us?
No, just Patches right now, unless you're engaging.
Did
A big
I?
fat 8 on initiative.
Oh,
The
if I'm
three of
looking
us
to
are
the
in our room just chilling.
if I'm looking to the left, then I would probably see this, huh?
You would see this, yes. Are you coming out to engage?
I'd like to ready an action if possible.
Go ahead and roll initiative if you're getting in on this.
All right,
Yeah, I'd like to
the dirty 20.
kind of step forward and to the side behind like one of the public seats to try and like see better, but also kind of figure out how I'm going to do my action.
Okay, so you're what, wanting to roll initiative and hold an action, or are you wanting to? Okay, go ahead and roll then.
I did. So 15.
Okay.
Chime's
Anybody
fine with
else?
staying in his room.
Okay. Onyxia, Morphier.
Oh,
I've
Morphe
been.
fully. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say I was told that the security would handle it, so I'm taking word on that.
Morphe fully thinks that the train folks will handle these. Morphe believes that these are like some muggers or something that probably are trying to rob the train or something, and they'll be taken care of. He just has his orbs out, kind of twirling them about, studying them, staring into the liquid.
Am I able to do anything with that dirty 20?
With that dirty 20, you are able to, I would say roll. Just give me what's the action that you wanted to
I
do
didn't
with
want
the.
to. I didn't want to assume they're here for us, but if they did say, well, I think he's one of them, to Patches, then I wanted to ready an action to say to fire on him if they go to grab Patches, like they're gonna hurt him.
Okay. Um, yeah, I would say that that is a safe assumption that that is their goal. So you want to fire on them.
Yeah, then I do fire on them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Oh, nat 20.
I'd say that hits. So you're aiming for the one nearest to Patches, correct?
Yes, the one nearest to Patches.
All right, roll your damage.
All
You
right.
are now out here in initiative.
And
Cordelia
that
is waiting
is
to see, and the three of them are
2d8 plus
hiding.
2. No, I did crit, so I rolled double damage,
Yeah,
right? Or
double
double
damage.
dice.
Dice,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like the security guards might be handling it. We should just stay in here.
Yes, that's precisely what I advise.
Can one of you hold my hand?
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'll hold your hand.
And you see Morphe lifts his hand up, and his gloves have these metallic tips on them that are like clawed. Like,
That is 18 points of damage.
Okay. That one is still up and doing okay.
All right. Did I see how the others reacted to me firing?
Uh, they all have now looked from Patches to you, and right now that's where their attention lies. The threat
Okay,
and the one they think is one of them.
got it.
Now, do
If I
you know
can,
if you are one of them as well? You do not. It's just they're looking at you, looking at Patches.
got it.
I hope the rest
I'd
of
like
them.
to basically step out fire and then step back into the cabin if for cover if I could.
Okay. You want to step back in for cover? That is fully within your movement.
I hope the rest of them have the good sense to stay in their rooms and let the security handle this situation.
This one has been knocked back a little bit by the blow of that shot. Just a tiny bit, though.
Does your guys' door have a window in it that you could have clearly seen?
Oh no, the windows are frosted for privacy.
Okay.
Yeah, Nixie, yeah, you still have those tarot cards, right? Did they say anything about this?
Let's see.
I love that you're actually using a tarot deck for this.
Obviously.
Cards that you have, are they part of your spellcraft? Something that
No.
explains.
Ace
So,
of
how are they
Pentacles.
reacting to being fired on?
As you'd expect, they are readying themselves for a fight.
Okay.
And they have rolled
All
initiative. I
right.
just haven't said what they are yet.
Okay.
Patches, what did you roll
So
on
I'm
initiative?
8.
And you rolled Cordelia?
I
Me?
rolled the
Yes.
oh, sorry.
15.
Okay. So you would be next in the initiative order.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to judge the weight of the hand axe in my hand, and I would like to just poof, like pretend like I am hitting a spinning wheel of death, and go for the one that is nearest to Patches.
Again, the one nearest to Patches. Go ahead and roll to hit.
That was out of the tray. Okay.
I didn't even think about shooting the one closest to us.
7.
7 does not hit. It
Boo.
just goes sailing by, and I think, yep, it actually goes out the train window,
Shit.
through the car window, and yeah, you've lost that hand axe.
Well, fuck. Mark that on my character sheet.
It has broken the car window. There is now air rushing in because the train is still moving.
Is that noise supposed to happen?
I have no idea, but I would wish they would hurry up. It's rather distracting.
And
Well,
Well,
same for
everybody.
6
Yeah,
seconds.
I thought these were premium tickets.
Oh, and for my bonus action, I'd like to duck behind the chair.
You
or
mean back
bench
into
or whatever I'm sitting.
the cabin?
Well, I mean, like I was out by the like public
You were
chairs.
no, you were out here. You were here in the private cabin. You went in the cabin that was
Yeah,
quiet.
I asked
Oh,
to
you
step
wanted to
out and then
move.
step behind
Okay.
to the side. Yeah, I came out into like to the right behind
How much
some of the
movement do you
chairs.
have?
I have 30 feet.
Okay, you can get close, but you'd have to use your ability to get there.
Okay, let's do that then. I
You
can use
use
it twice.
You're gonna use your astral step to get there.
Starlight step? Yes.
Yeah, that. Okay.
That's my bonus action, so I guess I can't really duck.
So, Patches, you still have a reaction, and this gunned person is going to move away from you. Would you like to take an attack of opportunity or save your reaction?
I will take the attack of opportunity.
right, roll the hit. Are you doing melee? You doing your whip?
This is my whip.
Okay.
It's a natural 20.
Oh, that hits. Roll some damage.
2d12 plus 3. Okay, another d12. Where you at? There you are. Uh, 15 total damage.
15 total damage. This one, he's moving away from you. He's limping away from you. He's not looking great, but he's still. This is a sturdy individual. And he's getting behind as much of as he can because y'all have just gone ham on the one guy. Meanwhile, this person at the back starts moving forward ever so slightly, and let's see what they do. They first they point at you and point to the person with the daggers. And for that, they are going to they are going to run their own sword along their hand while running forward, just getting within range, and they are going to doesn't look like there's is there a save against that? Sorry. Give me 1 second. Sorry. So I need you to roll either an intelligence or wisdom saving throw, whichever one you want.
Okay, it'll be intelligence.
Okay.
Seven.
Seven.
Yep, 7.
So you are now afflicted with the blood curse of bloated agony. You have disadvantage on strength checks and dexterity checks, and take 1d8 necrotic damage if you make more than one attack during your turn. And I believe they're going to... Is there something else they've got here that in their wheelhouse to do on top of that? No. So that's the end of their turn. And this one is going to run forward at you and take 2 slashing attacks at you. What is your AC?
It is only 12.
Okay, so the first one you're able to dodge out of the way, but the second one comes up and hits you instantly. I need more dice. Susie won't let me get more.
You have so many.
So one thing that's bad about this dice bag is it's hard to see into to grab the exact one you're looking for. Where the hell did my D4 go? And you take 4 points of slashing damage.
It's out there.
That brings us back up to the top of the round with the gunman. Now, that seat provides you with about 3/4 cover. Do they want to, or are they going to be a dick? They're going to be a dick. Oh, no.
No.
I'm not sure if that bodes well for you or for us.
That does not bode well for Patches, at least.
Ew.
Oh no.
Patches is gonna need patches.
Patches, you take 6 piercing damage as you are shot, not for the first time in your life.
Be the last time either.
And they're gonna duck as far down behind that seat as they possibly can, because they are not looking great either.
Hey, Wilhelm.
Okay, so that brings us back to our dirty 20 of initiative. Velvet, what you gonna do?
Firstly, I'd like to shout, they're going for patches. We could use some help out here, to the other cabin.
Mhm.
And then I guess I'd like to, would I be able to shoot the one, the one that was attacking, that was near Patches has gone for cover, right?
Yes. You
I
wouldn't be
hate to
able to get
be,
around that corner right now. And there's one of them in your way currently
got it,
to
okay.
even get in that angle. Also, unless you've got sharpshooter, they're behind 3/4 cover.
I do have sharpshooter.
Okay.
And speaking of sharpshooter, I'd like to use that -5 penalty to do extra damage.
Okay.
To the one attacking Patches currently, if I can.
You're going to shoot past the one in front of you. Okay. So you step out.
All right.
And you're not taking aim at this closer one. You're taking aim all the way down by Patches.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Take a shot.
-5, that would be a 14 to hit.
Just hits.
Got it. So
okay. Roll your damage.
2 D8 2 plus 10. That is plus the sharpshooter damage. That is 22.
22. Okay. Do 22 points of damage.
I'm guessing he's still looking fine.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
These are hardy individuals, but they're they're taking hits, and you can see that they've taken some hits. It's just you don't know how much it's done to any of them except that one who came in wielding the guns that y'all went ham on.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any bonus actions I can do, so that's just about it. I step back into cover
Okay.
and hope they don't come after me next.
Cabins are full cover. You are all good. That brings us to Patches. Or no, that brings us to Cordelia.
Yeah. All right. So, well, fuck. I should stick with what I'm good at, and I take out my longbow.
Okay.
And I would like to do the same thing as Velvet and do the -5 penalty. So that brings me to a 12 to hit.
Does not hit. Just misses and goes
All right.
sailing past his head. But
To be fair, I had to roll a 19 to hit just now with that penalty.
Yeah, I was too confident.
do you step back
Sorry,
into
the
cover?
dog's walking around.
Or the
Yeah.
3/4 cover?
Yep.
You duck down back behind the seat. And that brings us to our gunner here. They are actually going to make a break back for the door and go outside of the main car. And they are now somewhere, but let's say 80% cover. Not that there's really a mechanic for that, but the door is shut behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get to this point in the midst of things, I need everybody to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
My thing is for checks, so I'm okay here. Right?
So that'd be 22.
Your thing is for, let's double check.
With strength and there's checks, right? So
it's
Dexterity saving throw, I got a 4.
yeah, strength and dexterity checks. Yep, it was not saving throws. It does not say that.
25.
You're good anyway.
Oh, was it?
I
Was
got
it
a
check?
30-20.
Oh, for check, it's the same thing. As a 4 for me.
Did anybody get lower than an 11?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay, so being in this cabin, you have gone lurching out into the hall. How low did you roll?
I rolled a 10.
Okay,
I rolled a
so
4.
you're still on your feet. And you, thankfully, there's some wall in this cabin, and you have gone sailing into it, but the wall caught you, and you are still on your feet. You are going around a large left-hand turn, and you actually cracked the window a little bit, and if you turn your head, you can see that you are sailing around the side of a mountain
I love mountains.
at breakneck speed.
That I don't love.
Something is wrong.
I
Wait,
think
so
I'm gonna
like
throw
faster
up.
than would be usual?
Oh, faster than it's even safe.
Cool.
I'm feeling a little sick.
I heard that Yale going to stand up, step over Anixia, and look down the hall and see what in the hell is going on.
You come out and you can see that there are two black and gold clad individuals. One seemingly holding something against Patches. Another who is clearly standing over Patches ready to attack again. And being out in the hallway at this point, I'm going to say you should probably go ahead and roll initiative.
Yeah.
To the party, pal.
It's going to be 14.
Okay. 14 total?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that would make you next.
Not that
Oh, no,
bad.
it makes you next. Okay.
Look around. Look, and just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Orb comes up, and from the orb go like 3 sparks of electricity as I cast magic missile straight to the one that it looks to be in the most immediate cause of one of my compatriots' harm.
Okay.
One right back by Patches.
Right by this one. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And that
I hope he's
will
not the big bad.
be 4. Set my phone on my dice box and couldn't find it. Object permanence is real. Alright, so that'll be 8 points of damage as all 3 of them fly straight towards him. And just like, unhand them this instant.
So I will say this one staggers back just a tiny bit. Not quite out of melee. You don't get another attack of opportunity, Patches. But from the impact of the hit, but they're still okay.
I will do a good roll back and roll myself back into the cover of the cabin. Just like get up, get back in here. You may want to stay seated, stay hidden back here. As I look over at time.
Yeah, that seems like a great idea.
Anixia, you are out in the middle of everything. I think it's time you rolled initiative.
13.
13 told that will put you next.
I don't have anything to help you guys.
You have the spirit of friendship. Now go forth and whatever.
Okay. The person that's in the hallway, can I run up to them?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try my best. I'm so sorry that I'm gonna touch you, and I hope it hurts. I don't know what's happening. And I'm gonna try and cast inflict wounds.
Oh shit. That's 0 to 60 pretty darn quick.
I don't know. No, that's a 12.
Yeah, no.
I'm really sorry. It's just a handshake. See, it's just a handshake.
And that person turns to you, and you can almost sense that they're smiling underneath that mask. And they are actually going to take their action to disengage and run towards the front of the train car. And all you hear is a whisper in your head. None of the rest of you hear this. You hear, "She will rise."
Wait. I heard nothing. I heard nothing.
She will rise.
I don't think any of us could hear that.
Wow.
Mm.
It's not picking me up. The person whispers, "She will rise," in your head.
No. Mm-mm. No. No, thank you. No. Who? I just go, who? Who?
And you just sense mirthful laughing.
Does Eclipse join in on my initiative, or does he get his own?
Eclipse gets his own initiative. If he's
All
there,
right, well,
he gets his own initiative, yeah.
Yeah, when I went out there, I would expect he would probably go
Yeah.
with me. We rolled the exact same 13.
Okay. What does Eclipse do?
He hasn't seen battle in a long time, so he's just gonna fly to my shoulder and kind of like puff up his feathers to be a little protective.
So, the rest of you see this raven fly up, land on Onyxia's shoulder, and instead of just normally puffing up feathers, the wings have come out. And you're not sure why, and I don't even know. I don't even know if Eclipse is sure why. The wings are out. Just trying to look as big as possible. Like you're trying to scare off a bear.
And that's their turn. That's his turn.
Yep.
Yeah, Chime is just gonna, he's like definitely trying to still stay in the cabin, but he wants to like poke his head out and like take a peek at what's going on.
Okay, so we'll put you towards the front.
That was Canadian. The way you just said "on" was very Canadian.
I think like I got it from Buffalo because they have like a Midwestern Canadian kind of accent there.
So, what you see is largely from your height, I would say you mostly see Onyxia standing facing the person who disengaged and ran away. And you see everybody, where they are. You can see Patches kind of poking a little bit out from the side here. And you see black raven wings just from the other side.
They're just puffing out.
Just puffing out.
Okay. Do I recognize like the armor or anything that the guys are wearing?
Roll a history check.
I got 12.
A 12, you would recognize the colors from the fact that education isn't terribly poor in Newtocket City, and having grown up there, that this would be kind of the colors of the Church of the Black Scarhorn. But something's wrong about the outfits. Instead of the insignia of a ram's head with a scar through one eye, there's an insignia of a dragon's head. Which doesn't make sense.
Okay.
And the Church of the Black Scar Horn, you would know, is a deity of demise.
Is this something I might have seen somewhere else?
You would have seen it mostly in history books when you were a kid growing up. The Church of the Black Scar Horn is actually bigger where you're headed, into Condorrago, and you would know that because they have a giant, massive cathedral there. So it's a big landmark, and you would know where the landmark is.
Okay, all right. Chime pops back into the room.
Let's see. Who does that lead in initiative? I believe that brings us back to our gunner, who is not in the car anymore, and with Velvet at the top of the round.
All right. I'm going to cast Bane on the one going for Patches right next to him.
Okay.
They have to make a. Oh. Actually, it says up to 3 creatures of my choice within range. Are they within 30 feet?
This first one would be if you wanted to step forward just a little bit, you could get this one within 30 feet.
Okay,
You
yeah,
can get the
I'll step forward and cast Bane. I don't know if I can see the one in outside of the train car,
no,
but then
and
I'll cast Bane
they'd
on
be
these 2.
outside of range anyway. So it would just be this
cast,
one in front.
They need to make a charisma saving throw against my spell save DC.
Okay. What's your spell save DC?
13.
They did not make that.
Okay, they roll a d4 and subtract that number rolled from the attack roll or saving throw.
Okay.
Whenever that target fails a saving throw or makes an attack roll before the spell ends, they use that d4 to subtract the number rolled from the attack roll or the saving throw.
Okay. And with that, I'm going to need everybody else to make another saving throw. Dexterity. And I will roll that d4. That's a 4.
That's a 9. Velvet.
Yep, that's a 9.
This time.
17.
Okay, so who rolled lower than 10?
I got a 10 on exactly.
10
By
exactly,
1.
you made it. Okay, you rolled the nat 1?
No, by 1. I rolled a 9.
Oh, by 1. You made it roll a 9. Okay.
Same.
So you're not prone, but you do stagger 5 feet to the right this time.
Wait, did you say dexterity?
Yeah.
Okay, 10. Sorry.
Oh, then you made it. You're fine.
Cool.
You stagger 5 feet to the right, and ironically, you're between cabs, so you're back in full cover.
Hey,
You staggered
Convenient.
into a convenient advantage, whereas this dumbass is now fallen prone onto the table next to Patches. And this one made her saving throw.
Got it. That's my turn. I can't do anything else.
Okay. Well, that one's prone, which means it is Cordelia's go.
Yep, sorry. The dog is having a mental health crisis.
And I would call it less than a 1. I would call it less than a 1. So that one's
Okay,
definitely
so
prone.
so last time I forgot to add a proficiency handling bonus and would have made it. So I'm gonna try again, but without the -5.
Okay.
So I'd like to try and aim for. Is Patches still being held by one of them?
Oh, I
No,
forgot to
that
add
one's
mine.
prone, and that Patches wasn't held. Patches was just being stood over.
Oh, okay. That one's prone. How's he looking?
He's looking okay.
Okay. Well, no, I don't mean Patches. I mean the dude.
No, I mean the dude. He's looking okay. He's been
Okay.
hit a number of times, but these are not people who don't set a standard of not to be fucked with.
Okay, and the other guy, what is he doing? Sorry, I was taking care of the dog.
Yeah, I saw. So what is? So the person by Patches is prone. The one in the aisle is holding a blood curse on Patches. And that's really all that's going on. The other one's outside the train car. You don't know what's happening.
All right, so the one that's holding the blood curse, I'm going to aim for them.
Okay.
That is a 16.
16 hits. Roll your damage.
Hold on a sec. That would be a 2.
The arrow goes through, and you see it go through the back of the hood. And it almost looks like you shot the person in the head. But because it hit the hood, it kind of, you see it just barely go in and then just kind of dangle off the back of the hood because it scratched.
And then I'm going to duck back down again.
All right. I didn't move you, so you're good where you are.
Cool.
And that person is now going to go past Patches and stay just out of melee. And attempt to help up the prone individual. Which will make it cost 5 feet instead of half their movement. And so they are both back up, but they are not doing anything this round. So that brings us back to Velvet and Onyxia. Well, actually, it brings us to Onyxia and then Velvet because both of those people didn't get their turns. Oh, and Patches. Nope, Patches. You still have a go. You still have a go this round.
Okay, so he's no longer
prone.
So,
There are two of them right near you.
I would go for the one that was just prone. No. I'm going to go for the guy that has the thing on me because I like to hurt him so he loses concentration on that. Let's attack.
Oh, wait.
With my latch.
Sorry.
Or is it just a one-time thing?
Cordelia did damage, and I'm going to roll concentration on... Makes the save. That was a nat 20. Okay, yours. Go ahead.
Okay, so attacks are checks, and it is dex, so it is at disadvantage.
Yep.
Because I'm sick. I'm down with the sickness. The lowest 1 plus 5. 10. So nothing happens. And no, that's it. That is it.
So you rolled the 10?
Yeah, I rolled a 10.
So you went for the one with the blood curse, and they dodge right out of your way. And that brings us back to Onyxia. Yes. No, my brain is on the fritz. It's either Onyxia or Velvet in this order. I think it's Velvet first, then Onyxia.
Did Morphia go?
Oh, Morphia, you rolled initiative. Yeah, you've got...
Yeah.
I forgot
That's
because
supposed
you
to
were
go
ducked back in
before.
the cabin behind Chime. I was like, what? Yeah,
I believe they go right
that's
before.
Morphe. That's your go. That's my bad.
Oh, oh, no problem, no problem. I'll just step back out, look down. Are they within 60 feet of me?
If you want to step forward a few feet, they can be.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will
So you're
step
right in front of
forward.
Anexia.
The one that's on the outer, I guess the one that's right in the center.
Closest to the door, the
I'll
center. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I'll try and hit them with a ray of frost. Uh, 14.
14 just hits.
All right, so yeah, he holds up the two orbs, and they seem to react with each other and frost over, and the frostiness just shoots out towards them, and that would be a 6 points of cold damage, and he is slowed. His speed is reduced by 10 feet into the start of my next turn.
All right.
Right,
So
and then I would like to use the rest of my movement to try and duck into one of these rooms that I'm
Okay.
standing next to.
Put you in this one. That's the closest one to you. And I believe that brings us back to Velvet.
Concentration.
Oh, yeah, concentration.
Wait,
Made it.
10 though, so.
Yep.
Not to be rude, and correct me if I'm wrong. I thought Onyxia goes after Morphe.
Yes. Sorry. That would be Anixia. Sorry. Anixia.
Out of one because we all entered at different times, so.
Yeah, it's all over the map, so
Okay. Is this person still holding concentration?
barely, yes. They've
Okay.
taken hit after hit.
Okay, we're gonna hope for something good here. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna think about the teachings that my grandma gave me, and I'm going to psych out this guy, this individual, I should say. And my words that I will use are, "Can you stop being creepy and let him go?" And this individual must make a con save.
Con save of
14.
Yeah, they don't make that. That's not.
Concentration breaks instantly.
That's done.
Nice.
Way to go,
All right.
Onyxia.
Blood curse is gone.
There we go. I contributed, and I say that out loud. I actually do. And I just kind of like I look to Eclipse because I do have a question. It says that he can be an arcane focus. I'm not going to do anything now. And some people say that you can cast through your arcane focus, right? So it's like if he flies away, I can cast a spell through him.
If the person's
Is that
in range of him, yes.
okay? Cool. So I'm just gonna look at him, and he's gonna just get off my shoulder. He's gonna just be kind of flying right above me, but not leaving my presence.
But that would count as your action at the time. Yeah.
Yes, which is I'm not gonna do anything. I just want him to fly up, just cause.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Well, this person no longer has concentration on that, and they don't seem bothered by the fact that they don't have concentration anymore.
Are we not supposed to be fighting these guys?
How many thumps
No idea.
did you hear
My-
when this fight started?
5 or 6?
We heard 5.
Well,
Velvet, what would you like to do?
Is it my turn?
Yep.
All right. I don't know if it's a waste of a turn, but I'll use Divine Sense. I'll get closer so that they're all within range, as much as my movement will take me, which is only 30 feet. And I'll use another one of my Divine Sense charges to detect if they are undead, celestial, fiend within 60 feet.
They are none of those things.
Sorry, your audio cut out for a second. What'd you say?
Oh, they are none of those things.
Got it. Well, that is my action. So
They take this.
done.
The first one, who's nearest to the door, takes this opportunity to also go out the door. Patches,
Oh,
would you like to attack the one that's been attacking you?
Yes, and now that it's not at disadvantage,
real
I
quick,
might
are they hitting
actually
to the
hit.
front of the train?
You don't know. You can't see.
Got it.
23.
That hits.
12 damage.
Okay. Starting to look rough. This one is almost getting to where the one with the guns was. And
And he
Cordelia,
bolts to his
because we skipped you on that because wanted to give Patches some opportunity for some payback. Would you also like to take a shot?
I would. That would be 15.
15 hits. Roll your damage.
Oh my god. 1.
And with that, this one just moves out of the way, gets scratched on the shoulder by an arrow, which, by the way, some of these arrows you can retrieve, some of them you won't be able to. Uses their action to disengage and also goes outside. And I would like you all to roll another dexterity saving throw.
Nat
That
20.
is a dirty 20.
I rolled a nat 1.
Ooh.
7.
21.
They severed the train link, didn't they?
I want to look out the window and see what is going on.
You are no longer going around the mountain. You are now on a flat surface.
Kind of flat surface.
A flat surface that your train car is still barreling downhill and then leveling out just in time to see a split in the track. Split in the track.
So we're
Can
diverging
I
on.
look out the window?
Who rolled the 7 and
What?
the nat 1?
1 here.
Okay, Chime, thankfully for you, you were in a cushioned room. The 7 from Patches, you are thrown straight up in the air
Oh, yeah.
as someone that you can see down the track at the last second flips the switch, pulls the lever, and the train only halfway goes onto the other track and halfway keeps going.
So are we now rolling over?
Have to
You
bail.
take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as the train car is now rolling, rolling, rolling sideways
I am ragdolling because I am unconscious.
down the track.
Is there like any
Is
way
Patches
that we
near
could
me?
like make a save?
The train car proceeds to break somewhat in half. And by somewhat, I mean it broke in half.
Is Patches near me?
Cordelia, you are within distance of Patches, even in the wreckage.
Okay, with my 22, I'm gonna grab him since he's ragdolling and I don't want him to break a limb and
Okay.
try and like cover him while I'm trying to land.
And I will say, with all the flopping around, you were able to get over there. Morphier, what did you roll?
I got a nat 20 on that one.
With your cat-like grace, as the
Claws.
train car split in half, exactly in the cabin where you were, you managed to duck and roll out of the open hole generated, taking no damage. Maybe a few minor scuffs and bruises here and there, but you had a nat 20, and that will not cost you any hit points. But, and let me pull this up, because I did not expect to get this far at exactly 10:15, but we timed it really well.
We're so good at this.
Train wreck map.
There is a stream of expletives that are flying from Morphier's mouth. He's like,
Come
as he
on, train wreck.
rolls out of this hole.
If she is within earshot, Corey is enjoying every single one of them.
And we will.
Maybe some new ones you haven't heard before.
I mean, I grew up on a ship with a bunch of like
Sailors?
dudes, so I'll probably have.
Okay, let's get this map in here. As inexpert as this will look to the stream, we apologize, audience. I was ill prepared. We will bring this into the frame. And come on, move down there. That was wrong. What just
Broke
happened?
everything. No.
You're probably good just leaving it there for now.
Ah, there it is. And the cultists are gone. You do not see them anywhere. Patches and being held by Cordelia, Morphier having landed cat-like, and the other three down in this end of the train car able to come out. What does everyone do?
Velvet's gonna run over to Patches and lay on hands to heal him up for 5 hit points.
All right, I'll say that Cordelia brought him closer, and we're out of initiative. So let's go back into roleplay.
And this is why I say we don't take automotives.
I head over to the other two. Are you two all right?
Me?
You just see Chime like
let's see.
nervously coming out of the cabin, and he's like, "Oh my god!"
Helping you
This
collect
is
that.
only fed into so much more.
Um,
I am going to take one of the healing potions out of my bag and pour it down Patch's throat. Patch's throat.
So we've got lay on hands and a potion down.
Yep.
And I think Onyxia has the bag of holding with the potions in it.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought we.
no,
That has
we
the greater
actually-
potion of healing.
Oh, just the greater potion of healing is in there? Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
that is
Did
all that's
you-
in the bag
So,
right
did you
now.
get the
so
Google
everybody
Doc?
has two. Okay.
Mhm.
Did I get the... Yes, I just haven't... I didn't know how you all
Opened it.
divided it up. I didn't look at it tonight. No.
It's the only thing that's in there so far.
Google Sheet. Love it.
Yeah.
So,
How much healing is that? It was like a D4 plus 1 for a basic healing.
and how much was the lay on hands,
2d4
Velvet?
plus 2.
Just 5 hit
2d4
points.
plus 2, I
Okay.
think.
3d4 plus 2?
I believe that's the basic potion, yeah. 2d4 plus 2.
So am I rolling for that potion or is Patches?
Patches can roll for that.
Okay.
Patches who has to recover.
So, why were you guys are all do? Is this normal?
No, it's not. It is very, very far away from normal.
Yes, this is exactly why we got on that train, so we could, get the shit beat out of us.
Oh, snap!
What?
Who in the hells were they?
That certainly isn't the first time I've been on a train that derailed. Usually I'm the cause.
We'll get back to that.
It's you guys really didn't recognize them? I was pretty surprised to see them there. Although they had that dragon head, and so the goat, which is kind of weird, but I guess they changed the mascot.
Chime.
Slow down.
It's okay, Chime.
child, slow
Chime.
Yeah.
Like, breathe into the bag of holding.
Yeah. You're asphyxiating, child.
Oh, I'm okay. Oh.
Listen, start from the beginning, please. You knew who those people were.
Wait. Chime, did you breathe into the bag of holding?
Yeah, sure.
I just want to know how that goes for you, because that's an extra dimensional space that doesn't have oxygen.
Did she only breathe out, or did she breathe in too?
Well, no, I was like, how you go? No.
Also, isn't
no
it
air,
cursed?
no air.
So,
You don't know. You just know the last person who had it didn't look so great.
just saying, I wouldn't breathe through it.
Why we're saying no, I wouldn't do that yet.
Well, those are the guys from the church. With the goat and the horn and what are they called again?
Well, we don't know, Chime. Would you
Don't
like
know, you tell us.
I actually forgot to write it down. What are they called?
It's the Black Scar horn. But also you noticed that the insignia was wrong.
Yeah, it was really weird. They're from this church, but the insignia was like it was different, and I don't know why it would be different, but man, those guys gave me the willies.
Perhaps it was some kind of sect of the church?
I don't know anything about sects, but they sure weren't friendly.
No.
I hate people in black robes.
I should have gotten a flask from that man.
They
Dear
sure could
God.
taken a beating.
Oh,
Well, I guess we
So,
should find a place
so I
to
feel like
hold up.
Marcia
So-
could have little.
is there any suitcases around?
There are some loose suitcases around.
Yeah, are there bodies around?
Uh,
Oh, we're going two different routes.
oh, well, considering what they did, by the time your fight had concluded, the cart had more or less emptied into other parts of the train to get away from you.
Good.
Uh,
Okay, good.
and the only body that is around is the ticket taker who told you where the cabins were.
Mm,
Got it.
unfortunate.
And unless you'd like a hole puncher, I will tell you there's not a lot of use on the ticket taker.
I was gonna say, like, is there a pocket watch?
There is a pocket
Not
watch,
trying to-
but it's broken.
Never mind.
Chime immediately takes the pocket watch.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That figures.
Broken for now.
Should we take some? Okay, so everybody, I'm really used to walking around, and it seems like my preferred mode of transportation is what we're going to be doing. So, should we maybe take some clothes and get hiking? Because
suppose
I
we
don't want to be
shouldn't-
here.
I suppose we shouldn't delay in our traveling to where
Okay,
we're going. So I guess
I
we'll just
feel like
follow
this
the-
is an allowed delay.
Yeah, we'll just follow the
Time is
train
it?
tracks until it's time until we get to.
It's about 3 hours. You're probably going around 5 a.m. at this point.
Should we
You're
take a
about-
nap? I'm like
You're
tired.
about 2 when you left. You're about 3 hours west of where you were.
Hmm.
And you pass the mountains, which would have been a harder trek, but I rolled in a way where you weren't going to fly off the side of the mountain. So, when they got on the train, so you lucked out, not flying down the side of a mountain to this catastrophic condition. Instead, you got to the flat land. You also held them for enough rounds to where they got off the train at that point. Which is why at the end I was like, initiative. Because they were getting off.
Got it.
They were making for the door.
So, okay.
How close are we to civilization?
You're welcome to look around.
Yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
looking around. Do I see any signs of buildings, lights?
You see
Roads.
the train tracks you came off of, and that's it.
Sun coming up.
The sun coming up over the hills.
All right. Well, we know where east is, so let's go west.
I
like
say
we're supposed to.
we should. So, did anybody hear like a voice in their head when they were on the train? That's not the usual voices you hear in your head.
No.
Yeah, no voices over here.
I did not.
What's the usual voice you hear in your head?
That's a different
You
question for a different time.
Okay.
No, I did not
Be-
hear anything. But with what time it is, and considering we got half of a train car here for shelter, we should probably take a short rest. Because I know that Patches probably isn't completely up to par.
And I'm close to it, thanks to y'all.
I will say, Onyxia, you reach out for that familiar spirit while you're sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, she doesn't respond.
Oh, I hate you guys. Life sucks since I've met you all.
Well, fuck you too.
Morphier.
What did I do?
Morphier, you hear from that same place where there was that low hum purring sensation before. There's a deep guttural growling that is also not you. Whatever it is within you does not like this.
The feeling is mutual, whoever you are. Ahem. Does Onyxia, does that voice of yours, is it just speaking or is it making any other type of sounds?
Oh, so yeah, I meant to say the voice on the train. Right now I hear nothing, which is very unusual.
Noted.
Which, what I heard on the train was, "She will rise."
For her?
Ooh.
That's not
I looked
unsettling
to
at all.
I looked to Chime, and I'm like, this church, is there like a lady that they love or like care for?
I suppose there could be a dragon.
Does Chime know the answer?
Uh, the answer is no, because the Black Scarhorn in this universe is actually a male uh, goat deity, uh, based on one traditionally from D&D who was a female deity, but not this one. This one is the and Black Scarhorn is well known enough to where when you said it, the rest of the group kind of would have known a little bit, because that cathedral is huge. It's one of the biggest churches in the country. Uh, the domain of that particular deity, who also has not been seen in over 1,000 years, is undeath as a means of as a part of the natural order, rather than as a means to power or a means of control, or undeath as a means of just resurrection because you want eternal life. This is undeath as occurs naturally because magic is natural in the world. Now, this is
Okay.
in direct conflict with a number of other churches who see undeath as the most unholy thing and unnatural thing that you can practice.
But you did say that their adornments were changed from the normal.
Um, I'm just going to look around and see if there's like any ghostliness coming from the ticket taker.
You see morning fog.
Huh?
You
You
cut out a bit.
see morning fog. That's it.
Okay, cool. Cool. All right. I'm going to go take a nap. And I'm going to be right as rain. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm a little shaken up. It's been a little bit of it. Really kind of a scary day. I didn't really like it. What are you gonna?
Oh, there. It's okay. Oh,
Look, I'm sorry for being a grumpy asshole. I may be a grumpy asshole, but I'm not a heartless grumpy asshole. So let's go ahead and take a nap before Anixia shits himself.
I like you.
Y'all are rough and tumble. And then there's this small little country fox. It's like,
But you were a mountain kid, right? That's what you said.
yeah.
Well, just dry your eyes. Everything will be okay, alright? Just go and scrounge together something from the train and make a bedding of it. Uh, suppose we ought to keep watch.
Um,
This
Eclipse can keep watch.
I believe Cordelia and I are of the affliction of meditation rather than slumber, so we can
Yep.
we'll not necessarily keep watch, but if anything goes down, we'll be the first to react.
Well,
Yeah,
Eclipse
I
is
can
like an
take.
alarm clock.
Well, I can get a full rest in 4 hours. So if somebody, Velvet and I can switch off on who's on watch, and everybody
Right.
else can sleep through the night.
Number one, how dare you call that thing an alarm clock? And number two, I don't know how any of you can sleep or meditate or whatever. I'm going to be up all night.
Guys, it's already morning. Okay, it's already morning. What do you want?
An insult
Um,
to clocks or an
I
insult to the Raven?
want a
You-
drink. That's what I would like.
Now, does Velvet get any sense that taking a rest here would be considered a delay to our patron?
Your particular deal. You've been attacked. You were on your way. You are not deviating from that. And one of you was just severely unconscious, almost on their way to death. You, a long rest is merited.
Got it.
I'm gonna go ahead and start making a fire then.
Wait. No, I'm useful here. Let me do something.
The mountain kid knows
All
how to
right.
make a fire.
Just don't blow anything up.
I'm not. And I'm going to use my other cantrip. One of two. Dark Flame. So a small little fire that glows faintly purple to just you guys. And it's bright light and everything, and this little fire. My
Just
witchiness.
allies. Yep.
Only we can see and feel it.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
This
Okay.
is interesting.
Patches, at first, you don't actually see it, but then I do think of you as an ally. Because you scare me.
Then I'm just gonna plop down, open up my bag, and take out a ration and start chewing on it while I take first watch.
Yeah, and because it's of my species, I will go off behind some of the wreckage and take a ration myself.
Mm.
I don't know what that means.
Uh,
Cordelia, I go over to you.
Eating with a proboscis can get weird.
Yeah.
Cordelia, I go over to you, and Eclipse just kind of walks down my shoulder, and I go, okay, he doesn't need any sleep. He can alarm me if there's any danger. So I'm gonna sleep. He's okay. He's pretty tough. but you let him know and he'll let me know. You got it? Cool. Thank you for the blade earlier. Sorry for saying I hate you all, but this has been a lot in a very little amount of time.
You know, I don't think any of us got much sleep, so I completely understand you being grumpy. So go sleep.
Normally a ray of moonlight, but today I feel like a rock.
Yeah, Chime is also just like he's just gonna be wide awake, and he's just like like sitting on the ground with his knees up to himself, and he's just like hugging himself, and he's like, oh, just like traumatized, and then he keeps like looking over at Eclipse like suspiciously.
So Chime's gonna be up all night?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright. Yep.
I'm already asleep. I did the military breathing exercises that they taught us in boot camp.
Yeah, once Velvet's done eating, he goes back and rejoins the group and meditates while Cordelia keeps watch.
Well, the watches go fine. You don't sense that anybody's coming. You don't even have to roll for it.
Before I go to sleep, do I get that sense that somebody's watching us? I'll roll for it, but I
You
want to
can
know.
go ahead and roll for it.
All right. Perception, you said it was
Yep.
earlier?
Yep.
Oh my god, stay on the table. A 10.
You get no sense that anybody's watching.
And with that, I fall into a deep sleep.
Once I'm off by myself, I will like kind of grab out those orbs and kind of close my eyes and go back into what is usually his nightly ritual of just kind of focusing on the moving, swirling liquids and try and figure out what the hell he's been hearing. This inner growl. This
You,
is new to him.
you hear a voice inside say two words in the same growl. Rise against.
No.
Anixia. Roll a constitution check.
Constitution check.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 14.
In your dreams, your grandmother does appear. She doesn't speak. She just points. And you can see where she's pointing is along the railroad track to where you were going. You're welcome to roll an insight check as to what she means by pointing that way.
I would love to.
Go
Absolutely.
right ahead.
Right.
Roll
all
with
right.
advantage. It's your grandma.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. We're going to pull out a different set of dice. Come on, dice. That is a 16. My grandmother.
The look isn't positive, but it's grim resolve. Like you have to go that way. But
It's
what's
not gonna
going
be
to
fun.
be that way is not going to be fun. And then Eclipse comes, lands on her shoulder. But then you're standing where she was, and Eclipse is on your shoulder. This is your way to go. And then you
Ancestors,
fall
am I right?
into a deep sleep for the rest of the night. Chime, you take your level of exhaustion, teeth chattering, not because you're cold, but because you're just that afraid. Patches, this is a Tuesday.
I love Patches. I fucking love that bitch. He scares me, but I love him.
Cordelia, it's certainly not the worst place you've ever slept. Like that time in a barrel in the back of a cart.
Yeah.
Morphier, you hear nothing else from the orbs for the rest of the night. And Velvet, you're just an old cowboy sitting by the side of a campfire, watching the dark flames. And that's where we're going to call it for this week.
All right.
Yay!
That was fun. Yeah.
Good first session, guys.
It was so fun.
My
I'm
goodness.
proud of all of you for surviving a massive train crash.
Wasn't
just a
expecting
normal
it to go well,
Tuesday.
wasn't sure.
Word. As far as I
Oh,
know, I think I used to do this type of stuff every day.
Oh, excuse me.
honestly, me too. No.
I think 4 of our viewers are people that I know.
Hey!
Hey, everybody! We did it! We did the first one!
We did the
Drop in
thing.
the comments what your favorite bit was. I don't know.
What's your favorite conspiracy?
What questions do you have? I have questions for myself. I have questions for all of you. I am very excited.
I
By
will
the way,
say, also,
Velvet had a hat on this whole time.
yeah, the hat never came off.
Yeah.
I can't wait till you get to a shop that sells lucky hats. Because lucky hats are a thing in the extended compendium.
Oh.
You're lucky hats.
Interesting. Did a
And they
hat
may
that
or
has
may
3
not give you
corners.
a use of luck once a day.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Some of us are naturally lucky.
But you must be attuned.
Some of us are petrified and want to piss ourselves every second of every day.
Listen. Some of us must study our character sheets better and remember our features that some of us completely forgot we had.
And some of us, so the internet does not get mad, need to get an initiative tracker.
Look, I sent you a link
I know.
while
No.
we
I
were in
saw
the
it.
middle of
I
this.
No,
saw
wait.
it.
No, wait. No, wait. My partner made me this. This is so unrelated to everything. But it's not. It's a D&D initiative tracker. And what we do is we put everybody's character and monsters on clothespins and we put them down the order. So then this just sits on the table and everybody sees what the initiative is.
Well, that's so smart. I love that.
Nice.
The one I sent her looks like a sword and it has little like nameplates that are dry erase, and you can put them on the side. And then if you have the little tracker rings, you can hang them on the little nameplates.
I
Oh,
like I like the axe one better because the sword has what looks like a tribal tattoo on it, and that's so 90s that it hurts in my soul.
You're Celtic. Like, come on. It doesn't look like tribal. It looks
Double-headed
like
axe.
Celtic knot.
Greek. It looks like a tribal tattoo. Love you.
We can argue about this later.
So,
Off camera.
everyone, thank you for tuning in. Everyone, thank you for playing with us. And if you want to like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends that we tell good stories, we are glad you enjoyed. And if you really want to support the channel, you can join our Patreon. Once we get past a certain goal, let's call it 3,000 for now a month, we will divide every single penny, even if we have to go into Canadian pennies. We live close enough, most of us. Amongst everyone on the channel. So, have a
But
good...
if you have no money,
Yeah, don't
then
do
just
that.
please
Don't do
share,
that.
tune in.
Yes, like, share,
Um,
tell your friends.
Yes.
And no, next
Yeah.
week's my birthday. You'll see me on my birthday.
Aw.
We have
You
a
have
birthday.
to show up for his birthday. Come on.
You gotta, I mean, everybody, let your friends know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a Trevor birthday party. Which
Yeah.
means at my table, you get 2 free inspiration.
Ooh.
Hey! I'll put a
Word.
2 right in my
It's
D20
birthday
tattoo so I remember. 2.
The figurative hair flip did it for me.
Yeah. I live in the Debbie Ryan, like, lemonade mouth Disney Channel era.
Hey.
Radio Rebel. That's what it was. Sorry.
Wow. Debbie Ryan. And I'm like,
Apparently,
there's
she's
so
really
many
nice,
shows
by
with
the
her.
way.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Because working at Disney, she came by a few times, and people said she was one of the nicest people.
Oh, awesome.
I hear in
I'm so-
interviews on other shows, anyway, unrelated, that she's really nice to work with. But anyway, viewers,
We gotta hold on to those while we can.
we love you a whole lot, and thank you for joining us. And join us next week when we will be even better organized, because this was a first session, and that's how these go.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.